Bumble's user base plummeted when they deleted all their bots. This is a Medium article poorly written, and I'm a stranger. But the reason Whitney Wolfe Herd is stepping down from Bumble is because the board became aware of systematically created fake users that if deleted would alone crash their stock price. Bumble has a small fraction of the users it claims to, and they were created using Twilio virtual numbers outside of the company's standard development cycle to keep developers out of the loop. No other dating app allows this, as it's very easy and free to do a carrier lookup on a number and see that as a bot. 57067 The Untold Story of Bumble's Engineered Success 5E7947858527. It appears that they may have started purging fake users on virtual number ranges because the number of active profiles globally has plummeted. Places where you would expect to see at least 1,000 users often have less than 40 in any particular age range. Believe it, reject it, whatever. Just don't invest in Bumble. Isn't that illegal? Because it's considered insider trading? She knew full well the stock was going to plummet and she cashed out. Also, recently Bumble added a compliments feature whereby men can for a fee message women whom they have not matched with. That basically erased any uniqueness Bumble had, compared to other apps. Met my wife on Bumble. Have twin toddlers and 4 kids total. Wouldn't recommend Bumble. It's expensive. A reminder to all, and it's part of the programming, Bumble's bounce. Yahoo Personals was doing this in the early 2000s and got caught up in a class action. Sauce my check for $12. What social media site isn't infested with bots? I figure there is some element towards not blocking them. Incentives seem to be to let them stay as long as not overwhelming the real users as it drives traffic. Even if as bogus scammer bots and catfishing, they're letting themselves be view-botted essentially. Video games have similar incentives with hackers who get banned and then buy another copy of the game. Who else is buying 4 copies of the same title and can be expected to buy more in the future? Just as long as the game is slightly playable, there's not a good incentive to invest in pushing prevention. Fraud is fraud, and if investigated, this could be a criminal offense. She can join Elizabeth Holmes in the can and they can plot their next idea. Sounds like Bumble could use a boost. This sounds like a shareholder suit waiting to happen. Isn't a Bumble something Yukon Cornelius should handle? This is an interesting article and I definitely think there is some truth to it. It's a shame that Bumble has been resorting to these tactics. But it doesn't surprise me given the cutthroat nature of the online dating industry. Thanks for sharing. So short $TWLO2, or is this not really that significant? After years of hearing their name, I still don't know what TWLO does. Just got on Bumble and they want $60 month to see the people that like you. Digital pimp. It's disgusting and want nothing to do with it beyond the short. And to think I was bullish at IPO, thank goss I sold after initial pump. Hey, just let it go up to $18-20, then it can get out. Then it can crash lels. I live in a major city in the US and can confirm as of a month ago there was nobody on Bumble when I got back on there. I got to the bottom of the women in my city in one sitting. Hinge has way more users. Bring back Craigslist personals. Better double check my wife. I met her on Bumble thinking face. I wonder if they defrauded their ad vendors too, by claiming views. Bullish on lifetime premium for $200. I always wanted to short Bumble. All dating apps are scams run by Seuss companies with no oversight. BMBL is down so hard for the year but for some reason rallied recently. I nearly shorted before last earnings, but the market seems to get a hard-on when its user count goes up without realizing it's all bots and hardly anyone pays. Either way, fuck all dating apps, I hope they all go broke. Predatory scammy companies that prey on insecurity and weak individuals. Puts on Bumble bois. My alma mater was sucking her dick hoping to get a big donation. Whoopsie. Funny how it's a dating site but they make more money if you stay single. Lo and behold, brass tacks, a piece of shit article. Get wrecked, tech nerds. This is wild. As a man, I always seem to have better luck with Bumble than the other apps despite clearly having fewer users. That's so strange. I wonder why more people use the others in comparison. It's not free to do a carrier lookup, but it's cheap. There are so many fake profiles on all dating apps, I would actually expect the stock to soar as people flocked to an app that actually works. The app should also do more to pick your matches. No swiping. These 3 are the best you could do. Choose wisely. They moved her up to chair. I met my wife on Bumble. I know a rocket when I see one. Look, you don't need much to convince me that dating apps are generally overvalued. But this article is garbage and proves nothing. Logically, I would expect these companies to have problems. But come on. I wanna say men are waking up to the grift of dating apps, but after the rise of I have no faith. Okay, but what the actual fuck is this article? Max Chad author aside. How is the grammar so god-awful that the average 4th grader can spot the problems? Lo and behold. Not low. Brass tacks. Not tax? It's all. Not it's all? Bumble's Russian founder. Not Bumbles. Alright, I'm drinking too much for Reddit tonight, but seriously. Just a tiny bit of effort to not make my kindergarten teacher roll over in her grave. Mrs. Cavendish did her time and deserves her rest. FFS. Welp, Bumble is really the last free dating app available to me as I'm banned on Tinder and Hinge. That said, I've spent a fair amount of money on comments and spotlights. With very little to show for it, it's quite a sad situation in the OL love department. So all the girls I dated on Bumble were bots? That makes sense, they seemed like shallow and gold-digging bots. Good thing I used a condom, wouldn't want to be having bot babies running around. Tinder is much better for a quick body fling. I find this interesting, but I don't really understand Max Chad's decision to withhold information. I totally understand why he would want this information out into the world. But he doesn't make it easy for other people to join his side, get his story out there. Some things that would make it easier. Who did they hire to sue him? Where is he being sued and for what? What evidence did he keep? Finally, if he really has evidence, there are people he could approach, like activist short sellers who could help him punch back. Wow, that's crazy if true. As a lawyer, I'd be very hesitant to invest in a company engaged in those kinds of shenanigans. Definitely sticking to my index funds for now. Explains a lot. I saw the same accounts being remade over and over and just quit. Fuck online dating. Not like my ugly ass would get matches even if there were a ton of regular people. But I'm still salty. Wait, women will scam your ass too? I thought they were supposed to herald a new age of good behavior by leaders. It's almost like you're saying that without the delusion. A product expressly designed for women cannot function. Reading comments, everyone doesn't like the app. I'm convinced, so what is the play? Elon. Add this to the SUPERAPP. So that's why the girls on there never swipe me back. I knew it. Every single one of the major apps does this. It is ludicrous they get away with it, but here we are.